watching KWQC TV, the news leader, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the Quad Cities, with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel, this is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, a drive-up, drop-off event at TV6. We are collecting personal hygiene and cleaning products for those in need, how you can help or get assistance from the Blessing Box. March is Pet Poison Prevention Month. The Quad City Animal Welfare Center will join us with pet safety tips. Plus, we'll meet this week's adoptable four-legged friend. And several opportunities this week to support research and conservation of African painted dogs, an endangered species you can learn more about at Niabi Zoo. Welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Monday, March 17th, otherwise known as St. Patrick's Day. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier. Next month, as part of the Build My Future initiative, the Quad City Builders and Remodelers Association will host its annual Construction Career Day event for kids. Mona Pfeiffer is the executive officer for the association and is back with us today.
Yes.
Mona, welcome back.
Oh, we are counting down. We're almost there now. We've been talking about it for a year, and we are thrilled to have this in the Quad Cities. It's called Build My Future, and it is a hands-on event for 8th graders through 12th graders, 11th and 12th grade, where they can actually, they are going to have, hammers and nails, and they're going to be doing roofing and gutters and siding and flooring and glass and HVAC and everything you can imagine that day. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. So this is April 8th at the QCCA Expo Center. There's going to be a lot of students attending.
Right now, as of last week, we had 1,000 that have signed up for the schools. So.
And just in one day. This is one day?
Yeah, it is one day. It started in 2017 with the home builders out of Springfield, Illinois, and it's now grown to over 11 states. And we've been trying to get one in the area for a while. And we've done events with 8th graders and then kind of more sit-down events for high school students. But this is going to be an excellent opportunity for juniors and seniors that are going to be looking for jobs at the end of the summer. And, college is amazing, but it's not for everybody.
Right.
And this is a great opportunity. If you're watching this and your kids might be interested and you haven't heard about it, contact the schools, the counselors, and get them signed up. We extended it to the end of this week for schools to sign up.
Oh, wonderful. That was a question that I had as well. When something is in the works and it's planned and you're expecting this many students, kids are going to watch this and go, I haven't heard anything about this.
Right.
This would be perfect for me.
Right.
So this is not your typical career fair.
No.
It is very unique in the ways that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids are really going to get a lot of hands-on opportunities.
Right.
And this could be great networking, as you mentioned, especially for some of the older kids as we head into summer. So even if they are planning on going to college, they might be useful somewhere all summer long, learning a new skill.
And I can almost guarantee most people in this industry are hiring.
Yeah.
Because they, like I always say, the average age for a builder remodeler is 56. So we've got to get these kids hands on tools and things.
Yeah.
And they're going to be highlighting drones and how they're used in construction. And yeah, it's going to be an awesome day. A semi-simulator, and there's a few contests with the kids. So we're pulling it all out. So it's our first one here in the Quad Cities, but I'm sure we'll be doing it again next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wasn't sure about that because you mentioned you've done little things here and there with the association. So there have been things similar to this, but not quite of this scale.
We used to do one called the Hot Expo, which is hands-on expo, and that was for 8th graders. And we would get for 400 8th graders, which is awesome because then they could decide if they wanted to sign up for construction classes.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that we still included the 8th graders, but the high school kids, they're starting to want summer jobs and thinking about their future. And like I said, college isn't the path for everyone. And we have kids that you go to college and you still do this on the side, or you come back and change what you want to do, but
do it over the summer. These are always good skills to have. And we've had various guests on relatively recently. I mean, even like Shaw Electric, they were talking about, the retirement age, as you kind of mentioned. I mean, a lot of these folks, they're retiring, they're on their way out, and we're trying to fill these positions. They are out there, they're open.
They are.
And it's just a great career path because everyone needs somebody. who can build, who can drive a semi, who can, you know, use tools and things like that. And it's just not something that necessarily we're all learning these
And it's
days.
a job, I mean, it's a skill you can take anywhere.
Yes.
You can move anywhere and still be able to do what you're doing.
Yeah, very cool.
It's awesome. We're pretty excited about it. And we need volunteers as well. So if there's anyone that can help that day, you know, checking in buses, passing out t-shirts, lunch vouchers, things like that. And if you own a business, remodeling, building, you know, landscaping, we need your hands-on. I feel, you know, the more people we can have in there to give the kids hands-on experience,
wonderful.
We've got a place to put you, even if it's adding on to another area. So.
Wonderful. That was a question that I had as well. So this is coming up on April 8th, so we still have some time. So if somebody is watching this and they feel like they could really be of use, do something hands-on with these kids, there's still time for them to contact you.
And especially I'm looking for ladies in the trades, because we want to do an area that's just professional women in building. So if you know, women electrician, women roofer, whatever it is, designer, and that, we're going to have an area just for women so all these girls can see.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
So ladies in trades, we need you.
Yeah. To show that example to other women.
Yeah, 8:30 to 2:30 that day. You know, most people will get there a little bit early. We have the day before to set up, but it's going to be, you know, an amazing event. It's our first year, so each year I think we'll get better. But yeah, get your kids on that bus.
Yeah,
get them out there.
That is wonderful.
Homeschool, private school.
Just get in touch and get there. Very cool. Well, something that you partner with the Healthcare Sector Board. We just wanted to at least make mention of that. That there's a partnership. So healthcare will somehow be incorporated into this event as well.
They'll have about a quarter of the building. Yeah. And they'll be doing hands-on with the kids as well. I know they'll have 2 ambulances that are going to be driving in and that. So it's just it's, you know, it's more than a career fair, but it's nice to partner. They used to do a similar show before COVID, and that kind of stopped. So it was like, hey, this makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get the kids out and only missing one day.
So many options. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's going to be a great day. And I think that hands-on part of it is key. You know, you talk about it not being like other career fairs, and I know, you know, any business or company that goes to a career fair, obviously they want the students, the folks that show up, to just have the best time and the most thorough understanding of what that career entails. But I think what really takes it a step further is just allowing these kids to do something, to really see how it feels.
Absolutely. And to build something, because they will be building some things. There's competitions. I know they're building bags, boards, and things. And
perfect.
Yeah, so they'll
I'll put those to good use.
Yes. Yeah. So we're excited about it. So
yeah, very cool. Okay, well, the Build My Future Career Day event is set for Tuesday, April 8th at the QCCA Expo Center in Rock Island. To learn more about the Quad City Builders and Remodelers Association, or if you want to get involved with the association, visit qcbr.org. Mona, thank you so much. I can't wait to hear how everything goes.
One last note, that if the kids do need to register or get in touch with us.
Yeah, don't just show up.
Don't just show up.
Contact
get in touch
a
with
teacher,
me, and
counselor.
I'll get you to the right person.
Perfect. Contact Mona and she'll get you hooked up. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We'll talk to you afterwards.
Yes, absolutely. Still to come on Quad Cities Live today is our Blessing Box event in partnership with the Friends of MLK and QC Punch, and we're getting a live update from the donation drive. Plus, March is Pet Poison Prevention Awareness Month. We'll learn more about what to look out for and meet today's adoptable four-legged friend.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
You still have time this afternoon to stop by our studios and support our Blessing Box donation drive. We are once again partnering with Friends of MLK and QC Punch to collect personal hygiene items, cleaning products, and other necessities. TV6's Kayla Page is joining us live from right outside the TV6 studios. Kayla, you've been out there all day. What has the turnout been like so far?
Yeah, that's right, Morgan. Happening right now after being postponed not once but twice due to dangerous weather conditions. Third time is definitely the charm for this Blessing Box drive. And I'm joined now to talk more about it is Pastor Jeff with St. John's United Methodist. Thank you for joining me.
Good to be here.
Now, you all have been out here since 8 o'clock this morning. How are things going so far? This truck is getting filled up slowly but surely. How are things going?
It tends to be a little less because we've had those delays. So we're hoping to still see people showing up here, and that would be great. But there's plenty of room in the truck.
Absolutely. And then, of course, what are those most important items that you are looking for to get today?
I would say the two big categories are cleaning supplies and then personal items. The toilet paper, the shampoo, soap, bars of soap, laundry detergent, bleach, things like that are what we're hoping to receive.
Absolutely, and things like these, you know, people don't think about food items and toys during donation drives, but these personal hygiene products really are important for the community. Tell me why that is.
This is our drive to help with the food pantry there at J.B. Young, and every Saturday there's a distribution for food supplies, but Punch has a representative there that through the Vine Ministry, they give out these items from 8 to 9 every Saturday morning, and some of them are a little more expensive, and so they just don't get donated from our other sites, and so this is the one time of the year that we try to focus on these things.
Absolutely, and then for people who aren't able to make it today in person, you are also accepting monetary donations. Tell me how people can donate those.
Monetary donations could go to 2 different churches, Third Missionary Baptist, which is located on Harrison, and then First Baptist Church. Those 2 are the offices that would get a letter donation. Punch is our umbrella organization, and there is a donor button on there. So if people go to Punch Davenport site, they could give a gift that way as well.
Awesome. Well, very good work y'all are out here doing again. Slowly but surely, this truck is getting filled up. I'll step out of the way so y'all can see what's kind of happening right now as we speak. But again, y'all until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Those personal hygiene products, very important items, laundry, wipes, feminine products, all those different things are right here. You can donate here at the KWQC station. Live in Davenport, Kayla Page, KWQC, TV6 News.
All right, Kayla, thank you so much. Now, the Quad City Animal Welfare Center is running a pet adoption special this week in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And joining me with those details and much more is Patty McCrae, along with an adoptable 4-legged friend. Patty, welcome back.
Thank you.
And who do we have here this sweet girl?
Oh, isn't she lovely?
Yes, we love her.
Her name is Bristol, and she is 4 years old. She is a spayed female. She's what's a foxhound. So she's got some hound in her.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard her bay earlier.
I did. I heard her in the lobby at one point, and then a little bit in here. She's the sweetest girl, and like she's been watching everybody move around the studio, like so inquisitive.
Yeah.
And she's really friendly.
She is. I don't think she's gone up to everybody and like be my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is super nice.
I know. Everyone missed it. While Kayla was out live, she was sitting kind of like right on my legs here, which was so cute because you're such a sweet girl. Yes, you're so sweet. Well, she would be perfect for the adoption special promotion that is happening this week. Actually, it started today.
It did.
Okay, and it lasts all week. So why did you guys want to do something like this for this week?
Well, it's a way to get people in our doors. So our adoption fee is going to be reduced. It'll be $13 this week.
Wow.
For adult animals. But it is a way to get folks out to visit, to see if there's maybe a great adult animal, cat, dog, that you'd like to take home. Also, it just gets people to see our shelter and gets them out there, and maybe it gets them to volunteer or donate in the future. If maybe you don't take home a companion, it still gets you to see what a great place we have.
Yeah, that's a really great point, actually. I'm sure a lot of people come in a lot, and you're just kind of like, they're looking for that forever family member, but in the meantime, they want to be there for those animals and be there to help support you guys. I think that would be a great time to inquire about volunteer opportunities. I did want to ask too, because it was specific to $13 to adopt an adult animal, a cat or a dog, because we don't want them to get overlooked. I mean, Bristol is 4, but would be considered an adult.
Yes.
And she's got some serious puppy energy.
Oh, she does.
Yes, you do.
Yes, she does. She was out for a walk today with volunteers, and she was going.
Yeah.
She might look a little bit older, but she's got a definite puppy energy.
Yes, you're talking to us. She has stuff to say here today. Well, additionally, March is also Pet Poison Prevention Awareness Month. That's a big one. We actually had Wallace's Garden Center on not too long ago talking specifically about plants to stay away from, but there's so much more on the list. So let's go over some potential hidden dangers, so to speak.
Well, household cleaning products could be something you keep underneath your sink that your cat or dog could get into.
Right.
Medications, that could be even their own medication if they get into that, or human medication. Different types of food can really upset their tummy. Some of them can really be toxic to them.
Yeah.
And then plants. So right now, I don't know if they mentioned that Easter lilies can be very toxic to animals.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're beautiful, but cats they're not good for cats at all.
Well, not good for cats. And the thing with cats too is they can kind of just hop up anywhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we know dogs like to hop up on the counter if they're tall enough, like Bristol's, well, like you're doing right now to Patty. So yeah, that's a huge concern with those plants. And you would be really surprised, like just to read a list of some of the toxic foods you don't think are a big deal that we eat every single day that very much are harmful.
Yes, yes. And if they do get into something, or you think that they've, are having a reaction to something, they could be vomiting, diarrhea, lethargic. You definitely want to take this serious, and you want to call your vet. There's the Animal Emergency Center in Bettendorf. There's also a poison control 1-800 number that you can call.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the ASPCA Animal Poison Control, and then the Pet Poison Helpline is another one if you're really in a bind. But of course, we do have the Animal Emergency Center here, which is huge. And before we completely let you go, I mean, we've seen some hints that the weather could be warming up. I mean, not quite like the hint we got on Friday, right, Bristol? But so there are some things with that as well. It's going to be like heavy-duty kittens coming up here. So if you're considering a cat for the house, maybe now's a good time to go and help you guys empty those shelters a little bit.
Yes, yes, we would love that. If you're thinking about getting an adult cat, make room for us. We took in 6 moms with kittens.
Yeah.
They each had probably 6 to 7 kittens. So if you do the numbers there, we're getting a lot of kittens. And they take about 2 months to nurse with mom, and then they get weaned. But it would be great if we would have room at the shelter to take all these baby kittens and have all the adults already in homes. That would be great.
Absolutely. I just wanted to, because it feels like it comes up before you know it. We'll be talking about it. And then somebody please adopt Bristol, because she's been like such a blast to have in the studio here today. She's the sweetest girl.
Yes, she
and
is.
she has a lot to say. I think now she's saying I'm ready to be off TV. All right. Well, Patty and Bristol, thank you so much. The Quad City Animal Welfare Center is located in Milan, along with their clinic. We have those phone numbers on your screen. And if you do want to learn more about adoption opportunities or volunteer opportunities, visit the website qcawc.org. Patty and Bristol, thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll see you again soon. Yes, thank you. Still to come on QCL, a behind-the-scenes look at conservation efforts involving one of the newest animal exhibits at Niabi Zoo, the African painted dog.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Since 2023, we've been able to visit Niabi Zoo for an up-close look at the African painted dogs. And this week, you have multiple opportunities to support painted dog research and conservation efforts. Joining me now from Niabi Zoo is Joel Vanderbush, Curator of Conservation and Education, along with Dr. Greg Rasmussen with Painted Dog Research in Zimbabwe. Both of you, welcome back.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
I'm so excited that you're back here with us.
Oh, I come like a good penny.
Well, we really appreciate it. You always have wonderful things to share with us. So let's get started. Joel, let's start with how long Niabi has partnered with Painted Dog Research, because it's been a number of years, and you've become even more heavily involved.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going on 8 years now.
Wow.
In fact, we were talking about this earlier today, and we're like, has it really been that long?
Yeah.
We couldn't believe that it has been. But
we used to have blackbeards.
we kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, right. Very cool. So talk about, Joel, some of the ways that you have worked together over those 8 years, because it has really grown.
Absolutely. You know, it just started with an opportunity where I met him at a conservation conference, and we were like, hey, would you come be a conservation speaker at what at the time was our new conservation speaker series, and he was one of the very first ones. And then we were like, hey, we want to do more support. We're thinking about bringing him to our zoo. So we started collecting coins for our Coins for Conservation program. So we sent kind of like a donation, and we're like, but what more can we do than just give some change? And he, basically we had talked about he needed help on revamping a website and some other things. So, it just gradually got more and more until, of course, back in the end of 2023, when I got to go out to Zimbabwe and help train new conservation educators, help to develop a bush camp program, which is run every single month since then.
Wow.
And that's that kind of work where you know, you're truly invested in this. And, you know, we hope to return there real soon to continue that work.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You've also helped fund a nonprofit organization or start a nonprofit organization
Yep, so I'm
here.
actually the chair of Painted Dog Research USA.
Okay.
And he is Painted Dog Research in Zimbabwe.
That's awesome.
So, you know, we're working to help support all the additional work for conservation and research and education that he and his team are doing over there.
That's wonderful. Greg, what has it meant to you to, I guess, receive this type of support?
Well, it's obviously the financial support's great, but you know, sometimes when you're trying to do conservation in another country, you feel you're on an island.
Yeah.
Knowing you've got, you know, zoos behind you and people, like-minded people on another continent, it means a lot. But also, I mean, what Joe and Narrabee Zoo brought to the table, you know, is running an education program. We know how to build buildings for kids and this, that, and the other, but you know, developing a whole education program and getting my education team inspired, excited about it, needs a conservation professional, education professional.
Yes, he is.
And here's my man.
Well, I love it, and you guys have done so much, and I want to talk a little bit, Greg, about what you've been able to do with some of the funds that have been raised. I was reading a little story that it's been super beneficial for a lot of the building that you're doing.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, one of the things we're raising funds for is building the bush camp. But however, children need to go potty. And when you've got 40 kids all wanting to go potty, you need a big hole in the ground.
These are just the facts.
Facts of life. I wish I could give everyone a pill and say, here we go, don't potty for a week. But that isn't going to happen.
Doesn't work like that, does it?
So our challenge is, it's not so simple. We have to have like a composting toilet that's 16 foot deep in rock.
Yeah, you have rock underneath it.
I mean solid rock, basalt, harder than granite. We needed special equipment for that. So
to break through it.
working together, we raised funding to buy the machine that we need, and then even I managed to get my first book published.
Congratulations.
I'm so proud
on
of
that.
it.
Yes, it's right there. He's holding it up. A dog called Circus.
And it's about a true dog called Circus. And then of course there was always the final nail. So graphic designer packaged it together.
It's beautiful.
And then Jill went through with the eagle eye edits. There's always those last minute edits.
Yeah. Well, he's our
I
education
didn't see
guy.
that 00 when it's meant to be noted.
Right.
You got neutered.
Well, congratulations on that. It's wonderful. And this all will continue to benefit your efforts.
And of course, these are available.
Absolutely. And in fact, we have 2 events this week where these will be available. So we have with our friends at Front Street Brewery and Tap Room.
the tap room there, yeah.
You know, like Front Street has always been so supportive for Pints for Preservation.
Yep.
And, you know, we had this conversation. They recently donated some empty kegs for our animals for enrichment. And I was like, hey, would you consider hosting this event? And because they do Pints for Preservation, we agreed to do Pints for Painted Dogs.
Love that.
So we're doing that
just
on
flows
Wednesday.
right off the tongue.
I know,
That
it
just
does.
perfect how that
Sounds
works.
great.
Yeah.
So they're going to be hosting that with us at the Tap Room on Wednesday evening. It's starting at 6:30.
Okay.
Where Greg will be able, you know, like you can go to a bar and like watch sports or whatever. Well, what
Why
about
would you
watching
not want to
something
go
else?
watch Dr. Greg talk
And listen
about,
to his stories and drink a beer while you're at it.
He's got good stories.
Absolutely. You know, and if you don't want a beer and maybe you're a wine person, then on Friday we have the Wine and Design where Greg will be talking about some painted dogs, and then Pat Bereskin, who works with Figgy and of course her studio, she will be teaching everyone how to paint a painted dog.
Wow.
And Greg might even try to paint one himself. So
And I might even
I'd pay good money for that.
I might even tell the story about when I first met my painted dog pack at close range while I was going to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's a different
story and a half.
They are carnivorous, aren't they?
They are indeed.
Indeed, that's a story.
I wanna
There
hear
we go,
it.
but I'm here, so if you want to come and hear the story, you've got to go to the brew pub.
Yeah, that's a tease.
I'm not telling it anywhere else.
Absolutely, there's a good tease right there.
If you want to hear that great story. Wonderful. And he's also been a guest speaker in some of your classes as well, correct?
Absolutely.
Which
So
is-
I'm currently teaching at Augustana on extended lunch breaks on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I get to teach the senior inquiry course on conservation methods.
Okay.
And so Greg was teaching there with me today, and he'll come back on Wednesday and Friday. And it gives this unique opportunity because normally when he does a talk, it's here's painted dogs, here's why they're endangered, here's how we can help. And that's about all the time he has.
Right.
So the great opportunity here is he can talk about all the different methods of conservation that they use, from habitat restoration, sustainable practices, all of these different things, which is more than just working with the painted dogs.
And it can be one-on-one. There's nothing better than having like a dozen or 20 students, no more.
Yeah.
Rather than talking to 200 people, you
Right.
can give everyone that individual attention, and I love that.
And very inspirational, I'm sure, to a lot of students who are already taking your classes. Very cool. Well, and we should also mention that opening day at the zoo is set for Tuesday, April 22nd. That is for the public. And if you want to learn more about upcoming events like the ones we talked about here today, just visit niabizoo.com and click on events. Joel, Dr. Greg, thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you guys.
Always have fun.
On the show with us. Yes, really, really, really fun. Thank you. And
see you at the Brew Pub.
See you at the Brew Pub.
Or at Wine and Design.
Or at Wine and Design. All right, we've got much more to come in our next half hour, including details on an upcoming Ballet Quad Cities performance at the Adler Theater. And later, we'll head back out live for a behind-the-scenes look at our Blessing Box donation drive. Stay tuned for an update on that.
And just a beautiful day across the QCA, mild, but it's going to be even warmer tomorrow. However, with the strong winds, our high fire danger will continue. Wednesday, we could be seeing some more severe weather and then some snow. Details ahead.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland.
Yeah, another springy day across the QC with plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the 60s, but it comes with a lot of wind. So once again, we have a red flag warning, no outdoor burning. This goes till 8 o'clock, and we'll likely see another one of these issued tomorrow, maybe even Wednesday, ahead of another storm system that could bring us some strong storms. Here's a look at the winds right now, at least the gust. Look at that, all the way up to 45 miles per hour around Dubuque, around 40 here in the Quad Cities, really generally 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts in most areas. And you combine that with the very low humidity and our continued dry vegetation. Still early in the season, not a lot of rain yet, so that's why the fire danger remains high. Anything that does happen to be burning outside could spread very quickly, so keep that in mind. Here's a look at the temperatures. Yeah, we're at an even 60 in the Quad Cities, milder air to the west, 65 Muscatine, 66 in Mount Pleasant. A little cooler, but still well above average to the east, 55 in Princeton, 57 in Sterling, Rock Falls, and Kewanee. Now we look ahead to Wednesday, generally in the afternoon. That's going to be the highest threat, and that will be for some more severe thunderstorms. They'll likely be out by about dinner time, but after a round of storms, we'll look into Wednesday night and early Thursday, and this system will finish off with some snow. We were talking about this one last week, and again, at this point, gusty winds and isolated tornadoes the main threat for severe weather, and maybe some slick roadways overnight, although I think it's going to be a wet snow, much like what we had getting into early Sunday. Maybe an inch or two accumulation on the grassy and elevated surfaces, but the road should remain wet, but not necessarily too slick. Here's a look as we jump ahead about 24 hours and get into Wednesday. After we start the day dry, we'll actually see a wave of thunderstorms right here developing in the afternoon. This is 2 o'clock, and then as these continue to progress through the area, they get a little bit stronger, but mind you, this is a pretty quick swing through of these storms. If we get some of the sunlight, that might strengthen them, and then as we get into the late afternoon, into the early evening, they're gone. Then we look at the late evening and overnight hours and look at this swath of snow centered right on the Mississippi Valley. Anything left over by Thursday morning might affect the commute with some wet roads, but then we'll get into some sunshine, and Wednesday temperatures near 50, so no problems to melt that snow pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, here is our Wednesday severe weather threat. We're right now at a level 1 across the entire QCA. It gets a little stronger off to the south and east, and that's where we could see more tornadoes forming along and around and south of Chicago. But look at our potential snowfall amounts here. We're looking at those amounts, maybe 1 to 2 inches, but again, this is early, and whatever we get, it's going to be a fairly wet snow, so we're not too worried about accumulations that'll stick around a long time. So as we finish off the night, we'll be getting those lows back to the low 40s, and we are quickly warming up tomorrow. There you see 50s by 9 to 10 o'clock. So that means high temperatures tomorrow. Morgan, have a great chance of getting into the 70s, I should say.
Well, I absolutely love to hear that. It's so hard to hear the words like 70s and 60s, but also wet snow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, March, you can hear just about anything in this part of the country,
absolutely
right?
can. I keep having to remind myself we're only halfway through the month of March. We still have a couple of winters yet.
Yeah, well, I could guarantee you that the one thing we won't say is hurricane. That's about the only thing we can take off the table.
Perfect. I'm going to knock on wood anyway.
All right, yeah, right.
Okay.
Good idea.
Okay, Eric, thank you. Coming up on QCL, details on an opportunity to see 2 one-act performances by Ballet Quad Cities on stage at the Adler Theater. We'll learn more about the show next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Tickets are on sale now for 2 one-act performances at the Adler Theater by Ballet Quad Cities. Emily Kate Long is an artistic associate with the organization. She's joining us now with all kinds of details on what to expect. Welcome back, Emily.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It is so nice to see you. I'm excited to be talking about this performance coming up. I was able to go, I was just telling you during the commercial break, I was able to take my daughter to the one you did last year, which was really incredible. It is really cool to see what you are all able to do when you have something that's like legacy, like the Nutcracker, and then you have, you know, kind of more artistic freedom to choreograph these other beautiful things that you put on for people. So yes, tell us about what's coming up. This is going to be Saturday, April 12th at the Adler Theater. You'll have 2 opportunities as usual. You'll have a 2 p.m. and a 7 p.m., correct? Okay, so what are we going to be able to see?
Audiences will see the legendary Igor Stravinsky's Firebird, which was composed in 1910. The original score was composed in 1910. Ballet Quad Cities premiered Courtney Lyon's choreography in 2016, and it has not been seen in the Quad Cities since then.
Oh, wow.
So
almost a decade.
Almost.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very, the score is so lush. It's very impressionistic. The ballet is this really, really beautiful abstraction. It's a Russian fairy tale about a bird who has a magic feather and gets caught, and then caught by Prince Ivan. He releases her, and then in gratitude she gives him one of her magic feathers that if he ever needs help, he can wave it in the air and she'll come to his aid. So it's a great fairy tale. It's a great story. It's a visually stunning ballet, and the choreography is really fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And audiences will also see Darius Milhaud's Création du Monde, The Creation of the World, which is also Courtney Lyon, our artistic director's choreography. That one premiered with Ballet Quad Cities in 2023. The score itself is 100 years old. It was written in 1923, but it's really, really jazzy. It's fun, it's light, it's bright. Courtney's interpretation is like sort of celestial. You go from like the chaos and nonsense of before time sort of existed to then more organization and impressions of the solar system. It's really, really cool.
Yes.
Really cool ballet.
I love the creativity, and Courtney Lyon, I mean, now that I've gotten to see a few of her shows that she's like choreographed and put together, I mean, it really is incredible to just see the talent there and the people that are dancing it out. It is, yeah, it's really incredible, and those sound like 2 amazing shows. And what I really love about them is I see all kinds of families in the audience. I see little kids. Like I said, I was able to take my daughter when she was 4 and 5 years old, and it keeps her focused because these are 2 one acts. So you have your intermission. It's totally, it's just really, really digestible. Like it's really easy.
That's a great way to put it.
Yes.
We really like to make, I mean, some live performances that you can go to are several intermissions long. Or it's just, it's a lot, especially if people are newer to ballet or have only seen maybe some of the more traditional ballets. This one is a really, really fun entry point because it's visually so stunning, and the music is great, and it's all kind of unexpected, but then it still has that narrative element. The first piece is about 15 minutes long. Firebird is about 40 minutes long, so it's very doable in an afternoon or an evening.
It absolutely is. It's a great opportunity. And let's talk a little bit about the difference between the performance aspect and then the teaching aspect. You guys are doing summer intensives, but this isn't quite the same as Ballet Quad Cities, right?
Correct.
It's the school.
Correct. The official school of Ballet Quad Cities is Ballet Quad Cities School of Dance, which is, we do classes for ages 3 through adult. You know, September through May, and then we're doing summer programs this year for students ages 9 and up.
Okay.
We have a 3-week summer program. It's 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, for dancers 12 and older. And we've got some great faculty, great guest faculty lined up.
Okay.
Donald Laney, who is an associate professor of dance at Western in Macomb, and then 2 of our professional dancers will be on faculty. Marcus Pay, who is in his 2nd season with the company, and Kaylin Sendlinsky.
Okay.
So we've got some great guest faculty, and then we have a ages 9 through 11 program that's 2 weeks long, also Monday through Friday.
Oh, that's wonderful. Like a really great option. Just briefly talk a little bit about the experience level necessary for kids to sign up for this. I mean, how much dance background do they need to have to be able to sign up and participate?
A basic, for the 9 to 11, we generally see a few beginners, but some dance experience is recommended.
Sure.
Just because that is the best way to get the most, the most out of any training.
Especially from the instructors.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And students from any dance school are welcome.
That's great.
To register. We get some students from other schools in the summer. We get a lot of students from Ballet Quad City School of Dance.
Yeah.
And they get to make some great new friends, and just sometimes it's helpful, especially for dancers, that have maybe been training for a couple of years, to just have a different voice in their ear, hear something said a different way, can be really, really eye-opening, especially at that age.
Yes, I
nice
completely agree with you. It's just like, immersing yourself in something that just feels just a slightly different, but you still have that comfort level from your background. So yeah, a really great option for the summer months. And of course, this is the final show that we talked about.
This is the close of the season.
Of the season, so it will be a few months before you get to enjoy Ballet Quad Cities once again. So definitely consider making this part of your plans on the 12th.
If you need your ballet fix, April 12th, 2 and 7.
Yes, it will be a wonderful time. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Morgan.
For joining us today. And we can always just go to their website, which we had on your screen, if you want to sign up for any of that stuff that we talked about, or if you want a link to purchase your tickets to the show at the Adler. So, Emily, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Up next on QCL, we are headed back out live for our Blessing Box donation drive. Learn more about the effort and the impact it has.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
You still have time this afternoon to stop by KWQC and support our Blessing Box donation drive. We are once again partnering with Friends of MLK and QC Punch to collect personal hygiene items, cleaning products, and other necessities. Let's go back out live to TV6's Kayla Page. Kayla, these donations really do make a big impact among local families.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Morgan. What's so unique about the Blessing Box Drive in particular is that our community, we have all these different drives throughout the entire year long, collecting things like food and toys. But one of those really basic necessities that many of us don't think about are those personal care items, those personal hygiene products. And joining me now to talk more about that is the Blessing Box Drive coordinator, Ms. Brenda Hayes. Now, Brenda, thank you for joining me again.
You're welcome.
Now, tell me more about what the impact does this make on the community? What is these basic items that many of us just don't think about? What does it do for a family in need?
It does a great deal to a person in need. A lot of things that we take for granted, or we think nothing of a bar of soap or dish detergent. I had a lady tell me one time she takes dish detergent and does her washing. She washes her hair and she washes her dishes. So you have to kind of look at that, and everybody's picture is different, but whatever donations we receive and can share with the community in general in their need is well needed and well thoughtful of the community to participate in.
Absolutely. And then this truck is getting almost just about halfway filled up. Tell me more about how things are going so far.
It's been constant. It's been a little slower than the previous years, but we had to cancel a couple times, and I'm sure that has some impact on it. We got a pretty big truck there. We're about halfway on the truck, but we have been getting some financial donations that will assist us in filling the needs or the holes where we have needs.
Absolutely. Monetary is always great as well. And what are those items that people got just about an hour left to come out here? What can they come and bring?
Okay, they can bring personal items: soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, conditioner. They can bring laundry detergent. They can bring paper products, toilet paper and Kleenex, and they can bring cleaning cleaning products, all those things that you need around your household to just make your day an easier day and a day that you can enjoy as an individual in this community.
Absolutely perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. Wonderful. And again, you all have until 5 o'clock this afternoon to come out and donate those products as well. And monetary donations are accepted as well. Live in Davenport, Kayla Page, KWQC, TV6 News.
All right. Thank you, Kayla. Hopefully we still have some folks out there willing to bring some things for us here at KWQC. Just come up 805 Brady and drop those off with the fine folks in our driveway. And a fine weather day. We've got temperatures in the 60s right now, but we'll see lows in the low 40s tonight. Partly cloudy skies. Most importantly, the wind drops, but it's back up tomorrow. That will likely lead to more red flag warnings, so no outdoor burning. Partly sunny, windy, but look at that high, 74, thanks to those gusty southeast to south winds. And looking ahead, we've got more storms on Wednesday, first alert day, mid-60s. That system will end with some snow that might have us waking up to another white landscape on Thursday with a high near 50, so it won't last long. Then we get more rain chances Friday with highs in the 50s, 50s through the weekend, and more rain Sunday with 40s to kick off next week.
It's a tiny little spring roller coaster of temperatures.
Kind of a major spring roller coaster lately.
Yeah, a major, especially on Friday, which is kind of what both of our wins are. So our wins of the weekend kind of stem from our weather, strangely enough, and Eric's is very interesting. Mine is just the warm temperatures that we had on Friday. So I picked up Darby from After School Care, and she said, so-and-so's mommy told me to tell you to come over, and we're all going to hang out on the porch and play. And that's kind of like my favorite thing about my neighborhood is there's a bunch of little kids that are all the same age, and they all go to the same school, and there they are playing with a kite.
Love it.
Chasing after a kite on the ground.
Yeah, that's right.
And we had a wonderful time in that weather, you know, that it started to turn, right? About that time of night, we got all that wind really picked up, and we all had to go inside, but perfect time for bedtime.
Yeah,
so
but you made the most of a beautiful day.
Yeah, we absolutely did. You know, got off work, and then tried to be outside and enjoy that while we could, and it was great. And I just love those little like teases that we get of those like really warm, nice days, because you really enjoy them living here.
Yeah, and I remember March was a big month for me as a kid because I always sent away for an annual kite. From Green Giant, and so this huge kite had either the Jolly Green Giant and or the little Sprout kid on it, but it was I still to this day love flying kites.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So yours is a little different. You're looking on the bright side.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you remember our storm coverage from Friday night, I literally said, yes, I'm looking at my Ring cameras one moment, and then the next moment I said, oh, they're all not available.
Offline.
So something's happened, and so I drive home and I look at my house before I turn onto my street through some backyards, and I see that the only lights on are my solar lights. Get into my house, and it's the only dark one in the neighborhood. While I walk around the back, a pine tree, one of my lovely 12, well now 11, 65 to 70 foot pine trees fell, fortunately not on the house or on anyone else's property, just on the power and MetroNet line between the power poles and my home. So I was without power. Called Mid-American a little after midnight. These guys came out. I had my power back by 2:30.
That's
of course,
awesome.
they said if I was on the Illinois side, it would have been a different story. But one of the crew members, and I need to find this guy so I can buy him dinner, he took his chainsaw. He said, I went out to thank him before they left. He said, yeah, I was bored, so I cut up your tree. He cut the trunk of this tree into sections like this so I could move them yesterday.
Now you have firewood.
Did a little trimming. I got a lot of firewood for probably this year and next. Thank you, Mid-American crews. You guys and girls are wonderful.
That is wonderful. A silver lining there. Awesome story. Thank you so much for watching. Your News at 4 is up next.